What is going on, guys? The 2020 free agency frenzy is over. So is the 2020 NFL Draft. But there are still plenty of big name players who could be on the move before week 1 of the regular season rolls around. There are still many pressing needs for several teams. Even if they didn't address these needs at the draft, they can still do it in the form of a trade. So let's dive into these 10 blockbuster trades that could still happen this offseason. Number 10, Josh Rosen to the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers didn't address their long-term quarterback issues in the draft, nor in free agency. Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges clearly aren't the answers. Ben Roethlisberger has no more than 2 years left, and the Steelers are loaded with young talent on defense. Guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, and Chase Claypool should ensure the offense stays relevant in the post-Big Ben era. Just imagine how long this championship window could be open if they could find a long-term answer at quarterback. That brings us to Josh Rosen. The Arizona Cardinals ditched Rosen after 1 year because they couldn't pass on Kyler Murray. The Miami Dolphins didn't give Rosen a chance as they managed to successfully tank for Tua Tagovailoa. So now Rosen's stuck in a no man's land. It's pretty awkward. This is the Steelers' chance to jump on the opportunity and snatch the talented but inexperienced quarterback. Put him in Mike Tomlin's system for 1 or 2 years while learning behind Roethlisberger, and you can expect some quality results. Rosen was a first-round pick 2 years ago for a reason. He just hasn't gotten a chance. Who else is going to realistically replace Roethlisberger? Rosen's their best option at this point. I think it's actually a pretty good idea. Number 9, O.J. Howard to the Dolphins. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the best offseason imaginable, landing the GOAT, Tom Brady, and a future Hall of Fame tight end, Rob Gronkowski, who came out of retirement to join his old friend. With Gronk now in the fold, top tight end O.J. Howard becomes expendable in Tampa. This 2019 breakout candidate disappointed with only 34 catches for 459 yards and just 1 touchdown. It's another sad reminder that Bruce Arians doesn't use his tight ends. So if that's the case, why would the Bucs need 3? Surely they don't need Howard, Cameron Brate, and Gronk. It only makes sense that they get rid of one, and Howard seems to be the most logical choice, as he carries the most trade value. The Bucs should be willing to deal Howard, and the Miami Dolphins would be a wonderful landing spot for him. They drafted Tua Tagovailoa as the new franchise quarterback. The only problem is that Devontae Parker is his only reliable pass catcher right now. Howard would help immensely in the blocking game as well. The Dolphins are loaded with draft capital, so they shouldn't be afraid to surrender something like a 3rd or 4th rounder for the talented but heavily underused tight end. That is, if the Bucs make Howard available. Number 8, Kenny Stills to the Chargers. Bill O'Brien shocked the world when he traded superstar wideout DeAndre Hopkins and a package deal with the Arizona Cardinals that brought over oft-injured and overpaid running back David Johnson. O'Brien then made up for Hopkins' departure by signing Randall Cobb and trading for Brandon Cooks. Now the Texans have those 2 vets to complement Will Fuller and the speedy deep threat Kenny Stills. Thing is, the Texans don't need 4 wideouts. They can't give up on Fuller just yet. He's too talented. That makes Stills the odd man out. Houston already has a new deep threat in Cooks, so why keep Stills? The Los Angeles Chargers could use another weapon to help out Justin Herbert's development. Keenan Allen is a free agent in 2021. Mike Williams is only under control through 2021. And tight end Hunter Henry always has injury concerns. Stills could be a nice add for Anthony Lynn's offense, and it can probably be had for a mid-round selection. The trade makes way too much sense for both sides. Number 7, Joe Thuney to the Seahawks. Just when it looked like Thuney was about to cash in, the 2019 second-team All-Pro guard was hit with the franchise tag by the New England Patriots. But hold your horses, Joe. The mega payday is still coming. The Patriots likely tagged Thuney for the sake of getting some nice trade compensation for him. Bill Belichick has already bid farewell to Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Kyle Van Noy, and Daron Harmon. This is a rebuilding phase, so there's good reason to believe that Belichick is keen on trading an expensive veteran while his value is high. New England should have made the trade before the draft, because most teams who needed help on the O-line addressed it. That said, the Seattle Seahawks could use some more beef up front. Russell Wilson has never had a good O-line to work with after all. Wilson took a whopping 48 sacks in 2019, just 1 year after taking 51. The last time he wasn't brought down 40 times in a season, back in his 2012 rookie year. That's pretty pathetic. The Seahawks have a nice championship window right now, but they have to deal with both Aaron Donald and the San Francisco 49ers' relentless pass rush in the NFC West. You've got to protect your quarterback long term, and Thuney can help on that front. Even if the price is something as high as a 2nd or 3rd round pick, Seattle has to do it. Who knows how many healthy years Wilson has left behind this awful O-line. So John Snyder and Pete Carroll, make your move while you can. Number 6, Dee Ford to the Raiders. The San Francisco 49ers have more than enough star power on that front seven. They cleverly traded away young star DeForest Buckner before he got expensive, replacing him with cheap rookie Javon Kinlaw. But the 49ers will need to clear more room, and it makes sense to clear out Dee Ford's contract before it gets ugly. The 2018 Kansas City Chiefs Pro Bowler inked a 5-year $87.5 million deal with San Fran last offseason. He had a respectable 6.5 sacks despite missing 5 games in 2019. But their D-line also has Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Solomon Thomas, and Kinlaw. I think it's safe to say they'll be able to get by without Ford. And the Las Vegas Raiders would be the perfect fit for him. They recorded just 32 sacks in 2019, which placed them in a tie for 24th in the NFL. Adding do-it-all linebacker Corey Littleton helps immensely. But the Raiders will have to do more if they want to slow down the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Drew Lock. Ford's contract will likely scare most teams away, but the Raiders have the cap space and the incentive to take on a guy like him who can get to the quarterback, especially if he can be had for anything less than a third-round pick. Ford, Littleton, and Max Crosby patrolling that front seven. That's one way of getting to Mahomes. So what are the Raiders waiting for? Number 5, Leonard Fournette to the Buccaneers. The Jacksonville Jaguars are shopping one of the final remaining pieces for their 2017 AFC South Division winning team. With Marquise Lee, Nick Foles, Marcel Darius, Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey, and AJ Bouye all gone. Why not just move on from Fournette already? The number 4 pick for the 2017 draft has dealt with several injuries throughout his young career, but he does have a pair of 1,000-yard seasons on his resume. The problem is that running backs are easily replaceable these days. Todd Gurley, David Johnson, and Le'Veon Bell went from being elite Pro Bowlers to some of the most overpaid players in the game. Nobody is going to pay a hefty ransom for Fournette, but the Jaguars may as well cut their losses. Their interstate neighbors, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, look like the perfect trade partner in this case. Having landed Brady and Gronk, the Bucs are locked and loaded in the passing game. The only issue on offense is a ground game that ranked 24th in yards last season. Why not take a chance on Fournette, who can also contribute immensely in the passing game? Brady loves his screens and checkdowns to running backs. Fournette could be his new James White, and Tampa could probably get him for a 5th or 6th round draft choice. Then the Bucs will truly have themselves a complete, well-balanced offensive machine. Number 4, Julian Edelman to the Packers. If Belichick can bid farewell to so many beloved and accomplished veterans, namely Brady and Gronk, he can move on from Julian Edelman too. The Patriots are rebuilding. Why keep around an injury-prone and aging wideout when you can get a decent haul from him? How do we know if Edelman will maintain his usual production without TB12? Belichick can easily replace Edelman too. Wes Welker and Danny Amendola both got it done as slot receivers in New England after all. The Green Bay Packers desperately need a number 2 wideout to help Devontae Adams. For some reason, they didn't find one in free agency nor the draft. If they want to keep Aaron Rodgers happy, even after drafting Jordan Love in the first round, they better get him some help. Edelman, who's perhaps the second most clutch receiver ever after Jerry Rice, could very well be the final piece of a championship puzzle. Rodgers needs somebody who can work the middle of the field while consistently moving the chains. Edelman checks off every box. He's a one-on-one matchup nightmare. Wouldn't be surprising if Belichick wanted at least a 3rd rounder and maybe more for Edelman. How about one of Green Bay's running backs or a younger receiver like Alan Lazard? Belichick would get more young assets for his rebuild, while the Packers would finally get the number 2 receiver they've been longing for. That's how you maximize the remainder of Aaron Rodgers' prime years. If Edelman is available, the Packers have to go all in for him. Number 3, Yannick Ngakoue to the Giants. The Jacksonville Jaguars might not be keen on dealing Ngakoue after the draft, but they really have no choice. Ngakoue has made it clear that he won't sign a long-term deal. If he sits out the season, the Jaguars will see his trade value go down, so why not just trade the guy, instead of doing something stupid like the Redskins did with Trent Williams. Ngakoue has an impressive total of 37.5 sacks and 14 forced fumbles over his first 4 seasons. He had 12 sacks in the 2017 season alone. Trading Ngakoue would also enhance the Jaguars' chances of tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Looking around the league, the New York Giants appear to be the best trade partner. If New York can overpay for Leonard Williams in a midseason trade, they can give up a handsome price to land Ngakoue. New head coach Joe Judge needs his playmakers on defense, and GM Dave Gettleman knows he's on the hot seat. Adding a player like Ngakoue could change the entire dynamic of this awful defense. No way the G-men would give up a first for Ngakoue, but a 2nd rounder plus a mid-round selection or a starting player should get it done. Placing Ngakoue alongside Williams would suddenly give the Giants some hope on defense. And Ngakoue is the type of pass rusher you need when you have to deal with both Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott twice a year. Number 2, AJ Green to the Jets. The perennial Pro Bowler missed the entire 2019 season due to an ankle injury. The Cincinnati Bengals placed the franchise tag on their star receiver, but if the front office were smart, they would trade him now. Why? Because Green is entering his age 32 season. He also missed half of the 2018 2018 season. You can't count on him to stay healthy. His trade value won't grow much from here. Not only that, but the Bengals have more than enough weapons for Joe Burrow, Auden Tate, John Ross, and Joe Mixon, and rookie T. Higgins. Do they really need to keep an aging wideout around at this point? The Bengals botched the chance to commit a fire sale at the 2019 trade deadline. So why not get started now by dealing Green to a receiver-needy team like the New York Jets? Hard to imagine Sam Darnold reaching that next level unless the Jets supply him with better weapons. Top wideout Robbie Anderson left in free agency. Jamison Crowder isn't a #1 option. Le'Veon Bell isn't the superstar the Jets are paying him to be. But if you add a proven star like Green to the roster, now the Jets look legit on offense. And Green's personality and humbleness would be a welcome addition to the locker room of this long-time losing franchise. The price? We'd have to assume at least a 3rd-round pick. And if that's not enough, they could always throw in a roster player or late-round pick as well. Either way, the Bengals should trade Green ASAP, and the Jets should find Darnold a #1 receiver ASAP. These two are the perfect match as far as trade partners are concerned. Number 1, Jamal Adams to the Cowboys. The New York Jets all-pro safety keeps popping up in trade rumors. That, along with the fact that New York hasn't been willing to shell out an extension, it suggests they aren't planning to make Adams part of their long-term future. Which is stupid, but what am I going to do? It really doesn't make sense. World-class defensive backs of his caliber don't grow on trees. But if the Jets don't want to keep him, well, they may as well trade him for a premium, which is still really stupid. Keep him. Keep him, keep him, keep him, keep him. Hey Jets, hey, if any of you are watching, keep him. Adams has been linked to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, who have had a major needed safety for quite some time. Remember when they almost made a deal for Earl Thomas? The Cowboys are the perfect landing spot for Adams. They would be thrilled to give him the mega deal that the Jets won't dish out. He would fix a leaky secondary and turn it into one of the NFL's best. And the Cowboys already have a top-tier front 7 unit. Dallas has one of the league's most complete rosters. Most of their core players are just entering their prime years now. Adding somebody like Adams is the ultimate go-for-it move. If I were Jones, I wouldn't be afraid to give up a 1st and possibly a 2nd rounder for his services. This guy would be worth every penny. Trading Adams seems crazy, but the Jets look like they're willing to do it. The Cowboys need to pick up the phone and make it happen. Personally, I don't think the Cowboys should do it because the Jets really need him, but they're going to do what they want. So will the Cowboys. So will the Jets. Everyone's going to do what they want. Nobody's going to think about what I want, which is to not trade Jamal Adams. But again, I'm just a stupid little YouTuber. What other blockbuster trades could happen before the 2020 season? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, we're on everything. Go find us. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos sometimes, so you should go subscribe because you'll like the content. Go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Same thing with TPS. We post great memes all the time. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click down below, and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every single day. Every day is new video. Every day is new video. If you don't know that, subscribe. I have a water bottle in my hand. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
My knee.